welcome to this week's broadcast of the Esports Tower Rumble in Valorant. We are broadcasting from the Boise State Esports Arena, and welcome to the Esports Tower Valorant Rumble. Tonight we'll kick off with the semifinals of our Esports Tower Invitational. We'll kick off with the Vipers, who are the top seed, and can they advance to grand finals, or can the Scorpions pull off an epic upset? I'm your host, Brandon Red Hot's Cozy Yancey. Joining me to call the action today is none other than Greg Old Soul Smith. And Greg, we saw the Scorpions kind of have a decent run last week. It was a decently close match. How do you think it is going against the top seed in a game like this?
That's exciting. It's a lot to go against, and honestly, I want to see him do it. I want to see a nice revenge arc, a comeback story, and I'd love to see it happen.
Absolutely, and of course, we've seen in the past where a week in Esports Tower can be like a hyperbolic time chamber.
Yeah.
Like, we've seen teams go from, having really rough games, barely winning, a double overtime, to just a crush in terms of the semifinals. So definitely excited for that one, of course. But this is the Esports Summer Invitational, which is an invite-only tournament and featuring 4 teams made up of the best players in Esports Tower. And of course, this team, doing a pretty great job in terms of the Vipers and Scorpions. The bracket games are a best of 3, as we can see in bracket games. Each have a team banned 1 map, and then they alternate picking maps for each game. So I think the first map they picked was Haven. I really enjoy that pick because if you're an aggressive team, you can definitely show on that map, because we've also seen the highest levels of play, even Esports Tower as well, be attack-sided. Yep. And of course, we have Doc's Keys of the Game, which is presented today by Esports Tower. You want to score pro advice at esportstower.com. And in Valorant, you want to flank efficiently, spend and peek wisely, count cards / call abilities, and of course, click those heads. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up, and that's at Esports Tower. And, of course, we're going to kick off with the semifinals of the Summer Invitational with the Scorpions and Vipers facing off on Haven. Like we said, what are your agent picks you want to see, or maybe combos you want to see?
This one has a good chance for flanks, for sure.
Yeah.
So I love seeing a good Sentinel, and I think Sentinel play I've seen it become increasingly important, especially VT Tower recently has been really playing Sentinel really well. So I want to see one of those. You can bring back Cypher if you want, but just that long C and that long A really call for Chamber, honestly. He also does well in B doors. It's just so open. So we're going to see that one as our first mirror.
Yeah, and I think trips have to do such a big thing here.
True.
Because having Chamber Trip, just having that one flank is so nice, because then you can really focus up, whereas sometimes Cypher trips are a little harder. The alarm bots from KJ, but it doesn't really do as much. I think that's the one thing you were saying. These Sentinel players have definitely evolved learning how to play Chamber.
Yeah.
I think overall Sentinel players have just gotten a lot more diverse with the Chamber, because it can act as sort of a duelist in offense as well, and it also really awards aggression.
I will say I always appreciate that AoE type utility that we see in KJ. And in the ult, if it's used right, if you don't have an ult ready to parry it on the other side, that can be really effective here on this map, just because everything's pretty tight-knit.
And of course, we're going to see the Neon Breach, which is kind of the combo that we've seen from Optic that really kind of they really started it, where they kind of pulled it out in Haven. Everyone was like, whoa, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Because the biggest thing that Neon can do is she might seem like she can run faster, obviously, than her whole team, so it's really hard for her to catch up. But the thing is, with that Breach, it allows you to play almost a 2v1 scenario with that concuss and with that flash.
And it's a staple of Kinetic's playstyle.
Exactly.
I think he runs it really well, being able to play at that speed, being able to check all his angles at that speed.
Absolutely. We're going to head in the first round here. We're going to see just the usual, kind of like a full A push. Usually what we'll do is they'll really show a lot of pressure on A, and then maybe look for a rotate out. And Kinetic gets 2 right away as they go in, and it seems like they cannot trade still. Kinetic gets 3 already, and gets 4. You might look for the aces in the first round here.
Wow, Kinetic first round ace, hungry for more.
And that definitely does feel pretty bad when you're really trying to force a sight, and then you can't get one trade.
He might pass it up here. It looks like he's gone a little bit more defensive. Kinetic has. V-Spicy's definitely feeling defensive. Gonna hold off in this one corner, just listening for the sound cues. Here they come. Ooh, almost catches one off guard, but Prestige is gonna take it.
Yeah. And Kinetic, I'll say Kinetic and Prestige kind of just did that little 1-2 with those crossfires. You kind of got all the kills, but I mean, at that point, it is pretty hard. The one thing I definitely have been seeing that I think Kinetic probably should do here is when you have enough money, you've seen a lot in pro play now where they've kind of just gone with the light armor Phantom or Vandal.
Yep.
Because it's like, if you win this round, you're going to save anyways. Like, you're going to bonus, right? Like, that's just how the eco works in this game. It's like if you lose, you're going to save anyways, and you'll have enough for the next round as well. So it's like, might as well.
And the rest of the setup is getting here tricky on the defense as well. Vipers are getting a little bit aggressive here on their checks. We already saw Kinetic have that crazy set of Prestige under fire for sure by Shadow. He's got to back off a little bit. Going to push back in. Saw a little bit of that head, but he's not going to pull for it.
And so they were playing C here. They just kind of left it open. Like, Prestige was just kind of helping play Grudge, but oh, wow. They might have forced as well.
They may have been looking for the retake, but they're not feeling comfortable about it now.
I'll say Scorpions actually have the advantage here.
Yeah, Scorpions are really taking it home, which is impressive for round 2. See if they can do it. They've just got 2 more to take down. It's a 2v3. They're on site and they're holding the spike. Redskin's got to make all his checks around to see if he can hunt this down when they're ready for him.
They're going to hear this flat. They're going to hear that smoke because they're actually that close. When you're within vicinity.
Ooh,
great try there.
TP, and it's a close TP.
Oh, wow. Nice shot
the
there.
Turnaround. He's ready for V Spicy too. Just
the
right timing.
That's a really great jumping.
Can't fake him out anymore. Gonna go for the half, even under fire pressure. Comes back for it, takes the jaw. Oh, but doesn't quite have time to defuse. Wow, that's an intense round 2.
What insane shots from Redskin. That's the most accurate Spectre play I think I've ever seen.
Oh, definitely.
Like, he was tapping like a vandal.
And the thing is, he wasn't just muzzle bearing and like run and gun close play. Those were all skill shots.
Wow, that was a great try too, and he almost had it. And he was 0.2. I mean, he was so close to it.
Ridiculous.
But unfortunately, just doesn't get at the very end. Like, just one taps him, ready to go.
And stuck the first half like a champ.
Yeah, exactly. And this shot was crazy. There's 9 bullets left, and he just once again, like I said, just has insane heads-up play there.
Yeah.
A little inception here.
Yeah, play that one off into the distance.
It's okay. We were just in the Matrix for a second. The biggest thing that I think that helps the Vipers at least happen early is now they're gonna play retake a little bit more careful. Ooh, good trade.
1 for 1, yeah.
That's
good there
being
being saving,
there for the
50-50. They are gonna try to overwhelm him. It goes it. Shadow was able to take down Prestige with that overwhelm. Kinetic then gonna come back in, try to provide some backup with Rezkin. They do get the plant down. It's a 4v3. They're waiting for this man in the middle trying to get through.
Absolutely.
But he's still just walking
slow.
slow.
Sheriff, probably wait for the smoke to come out, try to get like a timing in terms of let's have a reaction battle so use faster.
Yep.
See a lot of players do that.
All right, the third man has made it in. It is smoked out though, so they're gonna make it on site. Kinetic takes 1 down, almost gets the second, but it's gonna be Spicy that takes it and Tracker to finish it off on Kills walking in through a defensive smoke.
Absolutely, and it's gonna be pretty hard for, like I said, now the Vipers are gonna actually be full to buy. They definitely. It kind of sucks losing that second round when you full buy and stuff like that, or like you buy up. Yep. But the biggest thing I think they learned from that is just being able to retake a little slower and be able to wait for your teams. I think that's going to be the biggest things that we're going to see here. But, it's how it goes. I think Scorpions did a great job of forcing it. Sometimes it's a really big risk to force because then you're down,
you're down more.
3-0. You're usually down 3-0 instead of like the 2-0 and then, win the third round. Little lineup here.
Ooh, Kinetic going aggressive. Does a little bit of check with that first concuss. Not going to find anything. May continue in after as a nice flank. They decide to. They're rushing right in. They've already got the head that A is serious pressure. So they're going to follow in after.
Oh, wow. He actually gets one. Wow. That's always so unfortunate when you're the person who dies like that.
Oh, yeah. You think it's totally safe. Got to be careful. They didn't shoot back, though.
It does have a good heaven spot. Seekers are going to come out, though. They are going to know he's there.
Yep, he responds appropriately, backing right up. Going to set up his station here. He's in it for the long haul. No more smokes at this window. He's ready to start peeking out. Prestige. Speaking of peeking out, tries to find Tracker. Ooh, catches V Spicy off guard, though, on that.
Yes, he's behind him, too. Yep. So.
Kinetic finally finishing up the flank, comes around the back and surprises one. Taking Arctic down, but doesn't check all the angles. Tracker takes him to go in for an easy defuse.
Prestige seems to do a pretty good job of those trades, just having that different angle to kind of make sure that the kill is not in vain. Because it always feels bad when like you and a teammate are going and your teammate's just sitting there and you're like, hey, can you peek? And then they just don't, and then next they peek after, so it gives them the advantage. So great job just kind of using that. Of course, we have the Vitamin Shop, which has everything a gamer could need. You can check them out. And, of course, check their latest products, which is great. So just look at that Vitamin Shop. You can always get it there. Like they have the new protein bars, Body Tech. They love to make sure you have your body going. It is important to eat well, too. I'm not going to lie. Especially when you play games, it is very, very big deal.
Yeah.
Go, go, go.
Here we go. Can actually do the exact same thing. Might have an ult here, which I like, but unfortunately doesn't get anyone with the first discuss.
Ooh,
Goes to the
might
second one.
find it. Gonna play just blind around the corner, but
yeah.
not gonna catch much other than a little bit of damage. V-Spice are gonna be the one to close on that kill. But they've caught them all in an awkward situation now, and we see Vipers really pushing in on C-Long after that. Like, once you've taken space, don't give it up.
Exactly. I mean, the thing that sucks, obviously, is if they're going C, it's a really good play just because they'll peek and then they'll get concussed. But after that first corner, they're not actually there with a concussed, and then you're just kind of like, uh-oh. And the blind was good, too, so.
They're going to make a rotation right through mid to A.
Oh, look at where Chambers is. Yeah, I'll say Clades just had a good flank. Gets him the classic, actually.
Yeah, but they found him.
Spike planted.
Because he was concussed.
Yeah, he did take one, but then there was a reply. Tracker involved. Vipers are going to regroup in the back, but they're running low on time. Arctic here just holding the fort ready for something. Misses that location.
So he gets one ping. Prestige does flash. I don't think he actually got him with it, though.
No, they peeked him a little bit. I don't know if he knows they're there.
Oh,
they're going to find him.
Timing, wow. And
so quick.
Wow, Scorpions are kind of running out the game here, and I think they actually had like a gun disadvantage. We saw a couple Spectres.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't a fair fight.
Yeah.
Going to bring out the Guardian.
I will say the Spectres are definitely, or sorry, the Scorpions are doing a great job of just playing aggressive but playing slow at the start. Like they're kind of defaulting. What they're doing is they're really taking advantage of Viper's over aggression. The big thing that we've seen on Haven is sometimes if you'll see teammates like this or teams like this who just keep pushing out like that, and next thing you know, that's exactly what the Scorpions are doing. They're just getting one, then they're using that advantage. You saw them go A with a KO ult, and then it was just so hard to like at least hold it after that.
Now we see Arctic playing not exactly aggressive, but they've got a Guardian despite their great creds. How do you feel about that?
I think it's fine for Eco. I mean, as long as like after this round, if they're on the same Eco where he can buy it with everyone, I think it's actually fine. I mean, he knows that they're not going to have guns, and so it's like it doesn't really matter too much if you have that, you know, Guardian versus pistols. I think it's different if it's like a full buy round, but they know that they're on like a Nico here.
They've got a nice flank guard set up, watching every door twice. Now it's the Vipers' move. They're going to push in hard, find one, a good timed flash, almost gives them a second. The concuss after is going to have a free one. Prestige finding 3, just cleans up the map now. Only the flank guard's left, and they know where he's at. Fighting against some Marshall shot.
And once again, it is the thrifty esports tower. Like it should be, we should have like a saying for it.
Right.
Because they're like the amount of thrifties that happen like back to back, where it's like, okay, they thrifty, they get guns, and then the enemy team thrifties, they get guns. I mean, it was well played because I mean, sometimes I think the reason why we see these really well thought out thrifties is because like they're working harder for it. And what I mean by that is they're calming, they're making sure the utilities used, because you have to use your utility more in unison if you want to take advantage of that.
Right. No, they don't want to give up what they have.
Exactly. And so I think, you know, sometimes the individual player gets kind of in the way in terms of like, okay, well, we have Vandals, just go get your thing, you know? Or, you know, oh, we know they are saving, so let's get a little too aggressive.
Let's get in there. Anti-eco means get good, get your one.
Yep. Oh, wow. And
ooh. Speaking of playing one aggressive, Kinetic has a chance to find 2 or 3 here as they come on in, starting with Arctic.
Oh, wow.
Bring
Nice
that pre-fire up
shots.
to the window and takes him through the wall. Exceptional. Tracker and Arctic finding their one. Prestige going to reply and take down E as they come a little too close to home ground. He has a chance now to move in, but the defensive smoke is keeping him at bay.
yeah, Arctic
That was good.
That was an insane shot. He headshot to the wall, and then he finished him off
and
through
then
the
traced
wall.
him back.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah, he may have seen the head for the headshot,
yeah,
but
that's like the things where like you shoot and you're just like but like never actually gets them, but it got him that time.
Worth checking. The
Great
pre-fire
habits.
is always worth
Great
it.
habits.
It is.
Oh, counter flash though. Great counter flash Prestige. Oh,
Third flash
unfortunately,
not going to come out, but they still find the kill.
And Jaguar is going to be saving his 10 HP. Okay, you know what? Let's save.
Episode 4 Vandal. You got to keep that.
Yeah, but you know the gun
But
buddy.
they're gonna come hunting.
You know,
These are outros.
I'm a big gun buddy matching with your gun. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Oh, disrespected the man's save.
Yeah, I mean, I think Scorpions knew.
Yeah.
So they ran him down, got him.
Good calls.
But so far, I mean, okay, yeah, I actually like this time out here. I mean, it is only 3 to 4, which is close. But I think it's, you know what, there's enough happening with the Vipers where it's like our rounds that we've won have kind of been, you know, anomalies, I guess, where they play well those rounds, but for some reason the main rounds they're not winning. Just like that round, we saw them have guns again and they lost. So I think so. I think it's just one of those things where you definitely just have to kind of think about it and talk about, hey guys, we're winning our ecos for a reason, right? We're winning our ecos for a reason because we're talking about it. We're making calculated plays. We're doing retakes correctly in terms of like flashing first, concuss first. Like last round, we just saw like they just all peeked in the open and then they thought about the breach flash. So it's like I think to be proactive is what I'm trying to say more or less here is where you really got to communicate of what you're doing to get it going.
Which is necessary to eco play. You can't be taking long angles or rushing into somewhere obscure. Everyone's kind of walking together in a nice mob, and you have the ability to work together. Just cross angles just happen naturally when everyone's playing tighter.
And sometimes, like I said, you just have to talk about it because like the Scorpions are taking advantage of the Vipers just pushing out all the time. We've seen pushing out a C so many times from Kinetic and then just getting punished for it like 2 times in a row. So I think the biggest thing also is like, hey guys, we are on defense on Haven. Like if we push out and we don't get 1 kill, we're at a massive disadvantage.
Right.
Because you're spread out so thin on this map.
Yeah, yeah. Every step you take away from somebody else is giving up that space in between.
Yeah.
Ooh, and here's Kinetic coming in aggressive again on C. They're going to be traded, so...
I'd say Kinetic is the one, like I said, at least getting that 1 makes it so much better than at least just going and dying for it.
And it's a lot of decent information. We don't see a lot of rotation off that, but we could. They have that ability now.
I don't like the second flash there just because I think you need to have it for going on the site. I think the first one's always good if you're trying to bait stuff out because you always kind of get them to hold. But we're going to see them 2 hold on C. I guess it worked, so it doesn't matter.
Yep, they're going to make that rotation to A, which is open. We see, I believe, Kills looking to get back to his spot
Tracker
up in heaven.
Kind of playing a lurk, which I like because he doesn't have any flashes anymore, so it's like he doesn't have too much. But the thing is, his teammate's not on site, so they definitely needed him on site here.
Kills finds 1 with the Headhunter, goes in for a second through the smoke. He might have to just wait it out. He's got the TP set up, though, in it for the long run. Gonna wait up here. We see some ults on board. There's one. Not gonna find much though. Kills drops down, moves in with the rest of the Vipers to retake this. Good trial shots at it. Ooh, a dangerous game staring at the floor for the defuse. Unfortunately, he goes down by Tracker. Rezkin taking it back over, but there's not enough time. So the Scorpions run another round, 3-6.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Scorpions are doing such a good job because like they're getting 1 trade and then they held them there with the flash KO, but then they're rotating there and they're playing just really. I would just say they're playing really well at the post plant. I mean, they're not playing greedy. You don't see any unnecessary peeks. They know exactly what they need to do. They play all their different angles. Okay, let's wait for them to peek us. If they peek us, let's play the trade 1 for 1, and we'll play those trades. I think that's so important because it just shows your discipline.
Right.
I think discipline's a big thing in Valorant where so many times the voice in you is like, just peek him, peek him, peek him, peek him, peek him. Like, you're better, you're better. But then you lose it, and then it's like, oh, well, we should have won that round. Like, you're not taking the 100% play, right? Because even if they come push you, you're going to play time. Because, like, it takes so long to actually do that. Great shot by Jaguar here. Prestige gets a trade, though.
Absolutely hunts that one down. They're all clustered right behind C, and admittedly, they felt a lot of C pressure, and the Scorpions keep hitting C.
Clids doesn't have TP up right here, so this is pretty risky. Oh, wow, that is insane timing.
Came close.
Yeah.
If he runs up and they're slowed at these doors, he could have a huge one right here.
Yep.
Gonna give away his position on the first one, but that's free money.
I like the first one because then they know that they have to be wary.
They have back
exactly.
pressure. Yep, they've forced up into this net that is the Vipers, and with only 1 remaining, there it is.
And that's a great round, I think. Clids just getting the instant 1 is such a good idea, like just a good idea,
it's
a good
scary.
play. Because sometimes people want, okay, well, I can get the 3, I can get the 3, I can get a hero play. But the moment that he just gets 1, they have to change how they're playing, right? They have to look behind them, look in front of them, and then at that point, you can kind of take advantage of that.
Right, they can't play like a spear anymore. They got to play as like a little donut.
Exactly,
that walks around.
And then at that point, you're a defensive spot, though.
Yep.
Like your vulnerable spot.
And not at any win con position. You can't plant on the grass.
Exactly.
No, that was a great play.
4-5 here. This is a lot of back and forth, of course. I mean, I think it just comes down to what team wants to play a little bit more methodical and execution, of course, right?
Yeah, spikes a little bit in pocket. They're going to go nice and slow here. Jet making the jump across the spot. Ooh, finds just a little bit of 1. Going to fall in after. Here's the duo. Got to try to cloud burst herself in and out, but man, they are aggressive.
Oh, wow.
Just looking for it. Survives only so long before he goes down.
They trill people. They get 2 down.
Whoa, Kinetic going crazy, finds so many more. These fights are going to be the one to take it down and finally move into this site. But they got to be careful now. They don't have a lot left. And only 2 Vipers looking in a pinch after.
They've been feeding Tracker with these ult orbs.
Oh,
he just ulted again. Oh, great shot there. Does get the nade, but so it's unfortunate they don't take the space with that and then end up playing A. So it's be a little scary now because they're going back to that rotation.
Yeah, and they don't know someone, is rotating in. So I got to be careful about all of this.
Absolutely. And we're just see him slowly.
Yeah, making it through. Switching between the knife and the gun just to check critical angles when you think it might happen, like right here. Check all the cheese spots. Got to be careful about it. But in all you're checking, you're losing the race around. And this rotation's already coming out from the other side of the Vipers. Wow, using the ult. Rezkin long on C now.
One's holding it, but I don't know if they hurt him, so they can't really pinpoint where he actually TP'd.
Right.
But I like this play where they're both playing the aggressive angle here, so they can play. Oh, that's unfortunate there, but there's no way I think Klid's gonna think he's there.
No, I don't think so.
We'll see.
He's gonna have to check it anyways, and he's ready for him.
Way to clear your corners.
Yes.
I mean, that's just one of those things where it shows, hey, that's just straight mechanics.
Methodical work.
Yep. Hey, let's. You know, even though he's just there, let's make sure we check that corner. There we go. And it's not going to be 5-5. Viper's doing a really great job of that triple peak long. It was kind of crazy because if Connect doesn't get those 2 there, it definitely is a way different round. Because they triple peak, they got 1, but then they end up going 2 down. And I think that sucks in terms of like if you're a defensive team, but they overall kind of been doing a great job of having big plays.
Well, we are into a tie here, 5-5, closing in on the half. Important things have got to happen now.
Absolutely. It's always, you know, really important to kind of finish the round off strong, I would say. Make sure that you kind of get it going in terms of your momentum, right? Because it's 5-5. If you go 7-5, you just win the last 2 rounds and you're feeling good.
Yeah.
Kinetic he's trading a lot right away. I think it's smart when you have 2 more behind you on C, because at first he was just kind of going alone on C, and then they're taking the space after. So I think some great adaptions here by Vipers.
It's a little bit of a risk on that shot. Doesn't quite find it. Little tit for tats here and there, but not much more than slight, small contact.
Yeah.
Just small talk.
I think Sky ended up healing up a little bit.
And B's being watched pretty well by our Omen on Vipers. Looks like he's going to catch the next contact from that Sky coming out first. A quick flash gives away the information. They start to move on up. This rotation coming out from the Vipers after a response from the Scorpions. Here's the skirmish. You already have a good defensive smoke on the Vipers side of B. All the information coming out of
Rezkin gets 1 though.
Taking 1 through the smoke. A good play. That's his zone. Jaguar to send the owl up. Well timed. Almost finds him.
Does find him though. He knows that
does catch
one's
him.
the right. He tagged 1. He knows one's the right. But
they did run out.
Unfortunately, the 2 shock darts kind of used didn't have enough information, so he has to. He doesn't have any more. So.
Prestige goes
out.
out.
Wow, he almost right through.
Oh, gonna find it maybe this time. Wow, right through the wall. Unfortunately, caught from the back. Arctic to find their second and is now safe in the back. E goes in for a low health plant, but is feeling confident with it. Oh, goes down immediately after planting Prestige. Hot on the trail of that spike. Gonna start moving in slowly. Arctic just waiting for the defuse Q noises. They're not gonna find him because they're checking all around. Kills coming in from the side
nice
is bound. Now they have to play aggressive. Arctic is.
Oh, Prestige thinks he's right side.
Oh, the cat and mouse around the defuse. Timer is running low though.
Oh, wow. Arctic kind of
so well.
juked him right there.
Yeah, the gun gave it away.
And that was a 4K. That's a big play from Arctic there because obviously it was tied up. So that's always big plays to go off that, just making sure that, hey, give us that 1. Now they go 6-6, but I think Vipers are definitely going to be more catered for attack with their team comp. They have that, that Neon breach that's going to have a lot of space being able to take for that attack side. So it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, they're down, but I don't think that's the worst thing ever just because their comp's nature is so aggressive.
Yeah, an even half isn't always a fair half, and the Scorpions know that. That's why that was such a pivotal point for Arctic to take.
I think this is going to be a big round as well because I think you definitely want to go up 7-5 if you're the Scorpions.
But we talked about momentum, too.
Yeah, exactly. In the momentum, of course. But I think it also just puts them in a spot where defense doesn't feel as bad just because they know that Vipers are going to have a really aggressive team comp.
Speaking of aggression, Scorpions are going to pivot well and respond to this aggression by Prestige.
Wow.
Showing a bit of an open spot and to catch Kinetic off the side. Decides to play in after that. Hoping there's a rotation to the wrong way. Ooh, finds another one. Arctic going crazy. Looking for 1 more, but slowed down a little bit. Going to drop the Seekers for some more info. Scare people off the point. That trap is gone now. They can play a little bit more aggressive. Teleporters are starting to move up. Arctic still just looking to take space, drop the spike. They're doing the final checks and it's starting to hold pretty deep into mid there. Arctic left to watch the spike.
Oh, so close.
Some coming from around the side. Killed's looking for something.
Quids with
Gonna
the
find him.
Quids has been going kind of crazy with this op slash, you know, chamber ult.
Klids has been doing it well, and they've been feeding a lot of orbs. Oh, another
Yeah,
one.
headshot this time too.
Onto Arctic. That's a good space take.
A 2v2, but
Moves
it's
up
starting to
after
run out
it.
of time.
He
Oh,
is. Yeah, he's
that's
got
a
to be the one
great
to
job for
fuse.
Redskin. Kind of get some of that timing where as the flash is coming out from tracker, Redskin peeks him so he can get him before the flash. Because that was almost dangerous. I think if he peeks even a little bit later than that, he gets flashed.
He's
and
got
they take
gun
him on.
out.
Yeah,
flash.
exactly.
But peeking in it earlier in the utility is not out yet. It was well done. Side switch coming out here.
And of course, you can check out Vitamin Shop, which is has everything a gamer could need. Scan the QR code now to check out their latest products. So make sure you kind of scan that code on the screen there and check out everything they have to offer. Like we saw that protein bar they have as well. So always have that great, you know, I guess, just nutrition stuff getting you going, making sure that you have that balanced energy, which is important. And now we're going to the second half of the game. 6-6, Arctic doing pretty well. Connect still ahead in terms of kills, but I think this is going to be where you kind of need to really show up in terms of that Neon, because that Neon Breach definitely need to work together in unison to get the full value out of that. And I think Haven definitely allows you to set up for that.
Loadout is varied here. We are seeing Headhunter, Frenzy, Ghost. Not a lot of shield work here, so it should be pretty quick.
Just like that. This first one.
Ooh! Misses a few shots, but finally
Scary
takes it.
TP.
V-Spicy to do well there. It is. It was a little later than we usually see V-Spicy like to TP, but he did hold on. When you don't have that eye contact, it's still safe to stay. Redskin gonna get in for the plant.
Wow, great job by Connect again, too. Guy, he got to go somehow. He got his first kill with the Frenzy, and then he swapped. Oh, wow, they lined up for him. Gets a clap. Easy, too, for Prestige there. As they kind of just sit next to each other. Connect going for his as well, of course. Ooh. And does get it. The Pistol Demon, as they call him.
Oh, definitely.
Well, I don't know if they call him that, but
We can.
We can.
We can be they.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, both pistol rounds, I mean, the first one he got 4.
Yeah.
Second round he got 3, so.
I think it's just that Kinetic loves this aggressive, fast-paced playstyle, which when everybody's playing short guns, when everybody's playing,
Yeah.
if I lose this, it doesn't really matter. Low economy, almost a melee type situation, Kinetic really thrives.
Yeah, and I think it also thrives when you have that breach setting you up. Like,
Oh,
Siege, I
definitely.
mean, I give him credit. Like, he's doing a
backing.
great job of, you know, the flashing and the concusses and everything like that. You can kind of see them. This is the, you know, the Scorpions kind of did to them. They're playing slow here, and then just basically making it so, hey, let's see if the Vipers are going to push out anywhere. Or, sorry, the Scorpions. And, you know, it worked for them. And just you can see that, yep. Klids plays it, gets one, looking for a second one here, get away for the flash. I don't know if he knows if he's close left here, but
No. Now
gotta clear
Scorpions,
like your teammates have shown.
Scorpions have now taken more space. They got a little bit greedy, but now they're not. They're slowing down and letting the Vipers play it. They're on Scorpion clock. If we sit here too long, Scorpions win.
Yeah,
the Vipers have to make a move.
I think is, I don't know, they have pistols, which is weird to me.
Yep.
I don't know why you wouldn't just buy the Spectres here. Does get hit once. He does have CP still. Oh, but he does get tagged, unfortunately.
Good one.
Gets the other one as well.
Prestige
Looks like they
find
don't
his
need
two.
guns. They just have pistols.
Redskin going in for the plant. Kinetic trying to respond. And out of the grass for a little fight. Finds the last one in Vipers to get their 8th point.
I think Kinetic has definitely just gotten a lot of kills here, which is, I mean, it was actually a pretty even round there with, like, you know, them not being able to buy. They didn't really buy Spectres. It was all just ghosts and stuff. So I think being able to win that convincingly on a, I guess even like a bonus from pistol, I guess is the way to call it with that.
Right.
Pretty good job. So obviously it is pretty scary to play full saves, in my opinion, just because, you know, if you lose there, it's just like you just wasted your first round win.
Yep.
But now the teams are actually be full even, so we're going to see guns from both teams here in terms of Vandals and Phantoms. Flashes, checks everywhere, doesn't find anyone.
Kinetic still moving right out, uses that smoke to its fullest advantage. He's going to just sit right underneath it. They don't want to push out after that, but they may have to. He's going to catch Arctic.
Oh, great shot there.
Entirely with a little bit of util in hand. They come chasing after, and he's low health. There's no heal available, though.
Shadow gets his. Clids does go down, but it's a 4v4 here. And it looks like A side's completely open. The only thing is Kinetic has only 9 HP left, so he is just, they're going to have to play to bait him in terms of just kind of play off that swing.
Yeah, difficult to be a legitimate spearhead on 9 HP. And if you run in faster than all your teammates, you're no good bait, you know? They take you and then they settle in for the second one. So he has to kind of slow down here. They have to come to the site second. That's all right. They get in for the plant.
Oh, nice ping. And that's the one scenario where the Guardian is actually better there because of the high pen. Sometimes the high pen plays a big role, and then, you know, Sova, you can definitely take advantage of that, of course, with those pings, the darts.
Yeah, it's definitely like best pen per cost.
Yeah.
Which, if pen's critical, then you got to have that.
And I think maybe not having enough eco as well, or credits, is kind of good to use that as well.
It's a slow game now. They're waiting for Scorpions to make the first move. They're not going to do it. The two of them are just holding off, looking for these outros.
Yeah, I think they're just going to hold their guns because they did just buy this round. So I think their objective is, hey, let's play slow here.
I'm surprised Clids didn't reposition to catch outros on the south side.
Uh-oh, you don't want to die here. Okay, good. He does get that one, and it's actually pretty good because I mean, it does get connected to the process, and then you also keep that op. That's a little scary because you definitely do not want to lose that op, and that's a good timeout from the Scorpions here. Which I mean, obviously, they ended the half, you know. I think it was, what, 6-6 or I think it was 6-6.
It was a 6-6 half.
Yeah, exactly. So now they've lost the last 3 straight rounds.
Yep.
It's 9-6 now, so it's like, hey, let's call timeout here. We're definitely losing momentum. They just had a bye. I think they have three members got a save, so at least have like a decent bye here. But the 2 other members are obviously not going to be on the same page in terms of eco like that. So they definitely want to win this next round, so I think this is a great timeout for that.
Yeah. And we talked about momentum. Important to have that. Doesn't matter whether the score is going up or down. It's good to like settle that out.
Yeah, exactly. And I think being able to stop it at the right time is also good, just because you don't want to call a timeout too late in terms of like, you know, the momentum and things like that. I think the 9-6 is great because now they're going to go into this round where they'll have 3 guns, like I said, from last round, and they'll have 2 other guns they can kind of use. So let's make sure to use that correctly by talking about our strat and what we're going to do.
Definitely so, yeah. And we talked more about communication, too.
Yep.
Just talking it out beforehand alleviates a lot of the communication that has to happen during the play as far as, like, what actual planning is happening.
Yeah, exactly. You can kind of just go back into it. Once you're in the buy phase, you reiterate what you guys just talked about. You know, hey, let's use this A strat, or let's use the C strat, or B strat, or whatever you guys use, and let's just talk about that and then implement it.
Pulling out the X's and O's of the strat book, it looks like we're going to find an op on the table from E, holding that aggressive A. Try to quell anything coming from that angle. They're not going to find anything, though, because we're considering a little B push here from the Vipers.
Yeah, it is crazy because remember the Scorpions are 1-5, but the coaches obviously think that the team is getting a groove and they can finally are going to be much tougher than their record indicates, and that's exactly what's happening right now. It is 9-6 at the moment, but they've done a great job of kind of clawing back and making the Vipers really work for being a 5-1 team because they have exactly opposite records.
Yeah, they really do.
Gotta go.
And then they're going to try to move the Vipers a little bit.
Yeah.
They're holding nice and steady here. They don't want to give up that momentum that they've got. The worried Scorpions
great flash.
Back fresh.
Just really enabling the Neon is your biggest goal. And they have no vision here.
Go, go, go.
It's a rough defensive smoke. Shadow going to take the most advantage of it and get a nice reposition to an off angle. More suppressive fire, just trying to keep people at bay here. Kinetics running out of that dash potential.
Almost out.
Oh, does have the guy long, but gonna fall short here. They've just crouched in the corner. Let's see if he clears. He does not clear.
Not at all. Goes for the hero.
Oh!
No, can't quite find it. And Kinetic with the gun advantage turns right around and finds him.
Man, those are the worst.
It is. Scary for Kinetic, though. Like, Kinetic has now learned his lesson.
10 seconds left.
I think he legged in there.
E looking for a good kill here. Might find one. Not going to get it. Ooh, gets almost just barely out of the way in time. Going to provide some more support against this Sova here.
This is a crucial shot for this off right now, though.
Shadow definitely went aggressive on that one and gave up any potential for E to play off of it. E trying to make do with what they have. Does have a shorty to complement the operator. A good pick. He's going to play a little gun switch out. Almost pays off as Jaguar finds the last kill to close out at 10-6.
That's a big round for them to win as well. I mean, the 10-6 is definitely, I guess, especially when they don't have enough here. I thought Red just tried to throw off the Vandal off the map, and I was like, you need that.
Yeah. Environmental kill 2. But
yeah, I mean,
they picked up an op as well.
They keep it?
They I don't know if they kept it, but they could have picked it up. They were on it.
Yeah. My guess is no. Only person that really use it, I think, is the Chamber. That's the only person who really could use it offensively on this map. But they really want to use just their one duelist comp with the just run at him, so I think that's what they're going to do.
And here goes Kinetic, running it back. Coming aggressive, try to find some points here. Doesn't want to play too far, not into a good offensive smoke like that. Have to be wary about these. Smoke starts to go down. Kinetic ready. All the Scorpions are pulled right behind.
Oh, they do have the op. Okay, the blind goes out. I think Prestige has the op. Oh, wow. Great shot by Connect. Connect just has some raw aim right now.
Yeah,
doing
and
great
he
shots.
relocates quick enough to find another one before going down. Arctic to take 3. Looks for one more, but can't find it. Prestige. Without the op, he takes 1.
And it's 11-6 now.
Crazy how that changes.
Yeah, I mean, it was so close, 6-6, but it just kind of shows that momentum is so big in this game. And like I said, especially the biggest round I think that really kind of caused this was the round after that timeout. They kind of just had everything going for them, and then it was just kind of taken out for them. So.
And you talked about their disposition to be a more offensive or more offense handling team comp here. An even half just isn't a fair half, and the Scorpions are going to have to change something to get this leg up on the Vipers.
Yeah, and I think Vipers are definitely using this Neon breach very well. I mean, Connect also just raw aim and play is just, of course.
Oh, and he's feeling
very
so
well.
hot.
Yeah.
Talk about momentum. Moving right in.
He
Lost.
does go down, though.
2 holds
The
here.
judge.
Does. Reskin going to be the one to find one more. Prestige following in just after my catch be spicy off guard here. Don't get too greedy with it. Oh, no.
Wow. I wonder if it actually took his ult away.
Nope, he still got it.
Okay. Because sometimes it is really weird in terms of how that actually
It
works
is
with
when
how the
it
interaction is. Yeah.
when it actually procs, yeah. 2v2. Speaking of ults, Scorpions have potential here. I wouldn't use a tour de force, but if they're really grasping, the Seekers could really help them here. I mean, they need to clear out a lot of area in order to get back down to the spike, which is sitting in an awkward position.
Absolutely.
They've got to be careful about all angles. Redskin having a face-off with several people. Oh,
and
they're
just really gun him down, trap him. Oh, great shot by Clids there. 1v1. Arctic definitely has gotten it done before, so got to be careful about, that being the last player.
Wow. Just to find out where he went for the plant, those Seekers came out. Now, Clids has to be careful. Doesn't know where they're coming from. Plants far back. He's got a different gun now, so he's not going to be watching it from C-Long where Arctic's at. Instead, he rotates back, giving Arctic... just forces Arctic to check every angle here. They're going to have to be very deliberate about this. It's almost aim labs-esque.
Great flash.
Yep, clears a lot for him. He's able to move up. Going to do a quick sweep through here. It's not fast enough, though.
Clids, and that's match point now. I mean, it's a minimum... at least overtime. So, I mean, that's just already you're at a good point. But they also haven't lost a round on attack yet. So, Vipers are really just kind of bringing it out. You see them playing, not only, they're playing, I would say, decent utility-wise. Like, they're not playing insane utility-wise. But I think the biggest thing now is they're just straight up aiming better. Their micro is just winning.
Which is not an issue in the first half of the game.
Oh, no.
So, it is a lot of mentality here, which is why I like this timeout.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I think the Vipers called it.
Vipers called that timeout?
Yeah, and so maybe it was a thing of like, hey, we just won the last 6. Let's just make sure we actually. I think it's because going off of the first half, what they did was had a lot of like, I guess it's not messing around because you're still trying, but it's like those are things that you shouldn't do. Less discipline is a better word I would use for that in terms of like pushing out with no one behind you, egoing them of like, hey, just taking fights that oh, my only win here is if I play aggressive and I win those those gunfights. So
we saw a couple mistakes of them just being a little too hot.
Yeah. And so now that it's at 12-6, they really don't want to give that to them, and I think they just were like, hey, let's just make sure we end this out. Make sure you have the guns. Make sure you're playing those corners. You're playing your trades. Don't just be running and, playing for that ego.
Solo.
Make sure that, Prestige keeps playing with Kinetic in terms of those utility.
Right, instead of trying to ult on a hallway they haven't checked yet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I think those would be the things that they'd be talking about, and that's what I would definitely be talking about with things like that. It's just like, what can we do to make sure that we win the game comfortably, not just win the game, but comfortably.
Right, especially considering the other team now has to buckle down. They have to get serious. They can't make any mistakes. Every round from here on out for the Scorpions is an all-out round. And we already see tour de force right from the start here. They're going to be nice and deliberate with their checks. The Vipers moving straight in. Kinetic going to find one. Not much in his back, though. He's going to use this wall to escape.
Yeah, I mean, it does kind of suck that you don't have the wall to kind of get the more space on C anymore, just because they only have Omen flat or like Omen smoke, so it's not.
Here's the thing: he was being pinched though, and then no one to help him, and had Spike. Yeah, that would have changed the win con entirely. So I'm not against it. Well protected Hunter's Fury. Moves right and takes a lot of space. Kinetic looking to find one. There it is. Nice 4v3. Ult's on board. There it is.
I don't think he really has Bob.
Omen all the way in back. All it really does is take a lot of space. They're not going to find a good pinch here. Because now the people in B box, double doors are ready for it. He's going to find one.
Great shot.
Looking for another move right out. Jaguar. Oh,
wow,
just can't be there.
Yeah, it's a good flash out with that. It was just a good play overall by the Scorpions of making a good call.
And to pull the knives after an op, it's an all-out scenario. Kinetic, though, going to ADS and find that one. It isn't. What a great TP, but he falls right into it.
Oh, wow, she got him.
To find one through the wall there, Redskin. With the last
and just like that, the Vipers go from 6-6 to 13-6, and Vipers take the first game on Haven. Wow, I mean, they really turned that around. Once they got the momentum in that second half, that attack, they just really showed that they're the 5-1 team and they're the #1 seeded team.
Yeah, really did turn up the heat.
Which is, like I said, it's always great. I mean, you just kind of, show off the difference, of course, as well.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy a Neon Breach played well.
Yeah. Which they do. They've had a lot of practice running it. We've seen them run it very consistently, especially on Haven.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's one of those things where it's different because you can obviously copy it from other teams in terms of the Breach on's great. But you definitely need a player like Kinetic where they're almost too aggressive, right? Like we saw so many times where he's just running it C long, dies, doesn't lose anything, goes at it again, of course. So of course, we can see the bracket here, which is the Vipers end up taking that first game to go to the grand finals now. And of course, going at it alone can only get you so far. Ultimately, if you want to increase your chances of success, you have to level up your teaming skills. We just saw the last game where 6-6 Vipers turned it up in that team play with Prestige and Kinetic doing a great job there. And of course, that is by Esports Tower. They take the time to create teams of well-matched teammates. I was going to shout out to Coach Halter. And if those who haven't checked it out, make sure you check out Esports Tower. It's the fast track to rank up. And of course, like I said, we have that great first game. And now we're one game away from the grand finals for the other match, which is going to be a lot closer in terms of rank. This is going to be a 2 and 3 seed, which is always kind of the more fun matches.
Right.
In terms of really usually close teams. So anything you're kind of looking up for that series?
I'd like to see another good turnaround.
Yeah.
A nice tight game. I'm really looking forward to it.
Absolutely. And don't go anywhere, guys. We have one more game left of that semifinals. So we're going to go to a break really quick. Don't go anywhere.
NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Protecting your customer journey from fraud is critical. According to industry analysts, Count's AI-driven platform is the leading solution. From account login to digital payments, Count is recognized for both its customer impact and technology excellence. Learn more at count.com.
Welcome back to this week's broadcast of the Esports Tower Rumble in Valorant. We are broadcasting from the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena, and welcome back to the Esports Tower Summer Invitational. It is Game 2 of our first semifinals as the Vipers lead the Scorpions 1-0. I'm your host, Brandon Redhots Kozianski, and joining me to call the action is Greg Old Soul Smith. And Greg, you know, after that last game where it's so close, how do you think they kind of come back from that, you know, being 6-6 to the 13-6?
I'd like to see a nice composition change, honestly. I think if there was a little bit more aggressive pick in the way that the Scorpions were set up, they would have better chances in the other half.
Yeah, absolutely, and I definitely agree with that. I think they definitely had their comp ready, but I think a lot of it was just individual play. I think Arctic with this Sky went really crazy, and it had a lot of great rounds. But I think, like you said, I think they need a little bit more comp, or at least a little utility, more utilization from that, because it seemed like, you know, that defense, they could never really get it going for holding it. And of course, we want to take a moment to congratulate all of the Esports Tower club members who have graduated from the clubs and have offered scholarships across the country. Over the last year, Esports Tower club members have received over $3.1 million in scholarship awards. These students have not only worked hard on their in-game play, but worked hard academically and have earned these scholarship opportunities. We could be not be more excited and proud to see all the opportunities these players are getting, which is a total of $3.1 million. So, and of course, we have Doc's Keys of the Game, which is presented today by Esports Tower. Scroll for advice at esportstower.com. And in Valorant, you want to flank efficiently, spend and peak wisely, count cards / call abilities, and make sure to click those heads. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. Make sure you check out Esports Tower. And going into our second game, it is going to be on the map Ascent, which is definitely an Esports Tower classic. I think all of our best games have kind of been on this map. We've seen a lot of just banger back and forth overtimes. You know, shown a lot of different comps too. Always we see a lot of the Killjoy and things like that, but. Recently, you've seen a lot of the one duelist kind of comps on this map, which is usually the Jet or the Raids. And then having that 2 initiator with the KO and Sova, or even the double Sentinels with the Killjoy and the Chamber.
Yeah, which is an interesting evolution in the map because it used to be critical that you had those 2 duelists out there. Like we saw nonstop Reyna on this map.
So that's what Reyna was absolutely broken, where you had those 4 kind of abilities to work with, and so. Definitely was a little crazier then, but now you have all these kind of different duelists and stuff like that. You know, obviously we won't see the Oro. But of course, you know, obviously you always check out the Vitamin Shop QR code here. Just scan the QR code, check out an amazing offer from Vitamin Shop. They have everything a gamer could need. And you can always check their latest products by hitting that QR code once again. And like we're kind of saying, after the last game, you kind of know that you can ride with them, right? Like if you're the Scorpions, you know, hey, yes, it was 13-6, which is it looks so much worse on paper. But like after having a half 6-6, it like just shows that you're in it. Like it's not like you got a couple free rounds here and there, because that's different, right? You know, getting like a 1 or 2 on the first half and then 2 or 3 in the next one.
No, that first half
Yeah.
was competitive, and it was pretty point for point.
Yeah.
People were taking timeouts at the 5-5, at the 4-3.
Exactly, yeah. The biggest thing I think was the 9-6, right? I mean,
Yeah.
9-6 where they took a timeout and they were really ready to go, kind of turn around, but unfortunately what happened was they ended up going the distance.
Yeah.
You remember, when you take a timeout, it can go both ways.
Yep, and we saw people really buckle down and go crazy at like the 12-6.
Yeah.
But we needed that power after the 9.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things where it was a do or die moment, right? And of course, we're going to kind of see what I was talking about, which is the one duelist and double initiator with the KO. And this one is going to be with the Sky, whereas this time you're going to see the Sova on the other side. So they actually swapped from last game. They had the Sova last game, but now this time they're going to run with the Sova. And of course, the Vipers are going to rock with the Sky. So they obviously kind of had a thing where the Sky ended up probably working out better. Maybe the Dogs or the Flashes. Sova is definitely the most common, or Fade. Fade is a very common one on the set as well, just because of being able to have that, I guess, sight, just being able to have them turn around or anything like that. The info gathering is huge, I'd say.
And there's definitely some nice info windows, literal,
yeah, exactly.
literal windows that make the Sova so viable.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, it's either been the Sova or the Fade. We've seen both of them. We haven't seen too much Fade in Esports Tower yet. I definitely think she's one of the better option, I guess, unless you're like an insane Sova player.
And people do have some real comfort on characters like Sova.
Yeah,
Like,
and I think that's gonna be the most comfort thing. And usually these games like this is comfort, right? Like if you've only been practicing for like a week, or that's something you want to eventually get in there,
Right.
You can't just use it right away, because if you've played, let's say you played 200 games on Sova, use the Sova over the 50-game Fade.
especially when things get intense and muscle memory kicks
Exactly,
in. You might
yeah.
end up playing Sova on Fade controls anyways and mess it all up.
Yeah, and especially if you just like I'm more comfortable being able to use a Sova lineup or a Recon Dart anywhere, whereas like Fade, I would say Fade is definitely more like lineup heavy in terms of attacking. I think defense, obviously, she's kind of there, but she has definitely like some lineups in this map that are really crazy. You can kind of like throw them up there where the like electronics are. It makes it really hard to defend, but Sova can kind of use all the walls there and just use it off that.
And at this level of play, it's not just about you. Maybe you are comfortable with Fade, but the rest of the team has to be comfortable with Fade too. You get into like utility synergies, and the rest of the team has to know how to work with a Fade in order for it to be viable. But if they all have great combo lineups with Sova, if they know where all the darts are going to be at, then it's so much better to play that one.
I also think the biggest one is obviously that KJ ult.
Yes.
I think the counter to KJ ult obviously has that down to a really good point. So I think it's
KJ
great.
is still so important that if you're expecting that in a mirror, it's nice to pull that one out.
Absolutely.
All right, getting right into it. It looks like a strong A push, which is going to, I'm assuming we're going to see a nice one-way smoke here, maybe backed up with another after some pressure. But we already have so much set up on B as far as KJ goes. I'd love to see a quick rotation out after that.
Absolutely.
Get right into it. There's that one-way smoke, but they're going to play aggressive. Prestige looking for early blood, and Jaguar
nice
takes
shot.
it. They keep playing an after.
And there's the dog.
on
They're going
E.
to use it as well because we can cuss route, and that's what we saw. We used the Sky right away. I really enjoyed the Sky there because he flashed the first corner, because you always have to use something for that corner because people are going to play that corner. You just know they are. You got to play it safe, play it on the corner, and then go from there.
That rotation's finally out, but the plant's already down. They're looking to move in all at once. A nice 3-peek. Prestige has the ability to play through the floor here a little bit. We might see it. But he doesn't want to give away his position, especially not in a great 50-50. He knows he'll be the one to fall if that pre-fire comes out. Speaking of pre-fire, we see that entry utility from the Scorpions in the form of KJ's bots. Getting into a nice flash here. Going to play off that contact, but Feisty still takes it. Takes a second before going down to kinetic.
And that's one of those things on Ascent where if you're trying to hold A and you lose the first death into main, like peeking out, and the second one is you're on site immediately, it's going to be a really hard just round.
It is. Yeah, it's difficult to retake that from the back of B. You get all the way over there, and just peeking is so sudden. It really checks everything all at once.
Absolutely. And I think it's different if you're retaking from, all different, and you have 5 or 4 or 5 members, but losing those 2 right away just makes it so hard on that side.
That entry utility from KJ was a good catalyst for it, but it could have come out a little earlier. Speaking of coming out early, we see the Vipers moving straight onto mid here. Good checks to get rid of that avenue with some smoke. moving in after. And anyways, we see the spike actually follow down tree, even though we're sending dog down mid. Scorpions in the back don't really know how to deal with this.
Playing really aggressive here, too, because, I mean, they're going all the way to spawn.
They are.
Oh, wow. Great shot, though.
A no-scope.
There's a Vandal down, but it seems like Prestige is going to get that instead still.
True.
I like this idea of Kinetic here by swapping the Spectre for the Marshal, because he knows he's being a lot close quarters now.
It's true. Yeah, no, he's definitely adapted to the second leg of the race here. Prestige can be moving
Wow,
down
B
into the mud.
Spicy gets 2.
Right through the smoke.
The thing is, there's a Vandal right there, too.
There is. Kinetic has a chance for it, but that gives up a lot of angle.
Wow.
He's going to find one here, though. He's going to look to Cloudburst in for the spike. Wow, it moves out the back.
The Vandal
He's going to
almost
rotate for
baits
it.
there.
Oh, man.
Because he was going for the Vandal right there, by the way. You saw him look at the ground and go for it, and honestly ended up just kind of...
He had to move.
Yeah, he had to keep going. 'Cause the moment you stop there for a second, they're going to spray through the smoke, and if you're not moving and stuff like that, you're going to get sprayed.
It's the win con as well. Like, the spike was sitting next to it. They're like, oh, he's going to be here. So that's suppressive
I mean, the
fire.
crazy thing is right now, though, is we're seeing people force both teams, and then the team who has less credits is winning. Like they like stingers and stuff like that, and they end up winning the round.
Well, it's that in-round bonus that's happening too. So just like a little bit more aim labs, just a warmer mouse can win you so much. It can snowball so much when you have the aptitude to, during the match, bonus up.
Yeah. And we're seeing kind of Vipers just play a little slower. They're still taking the space, which I think is very important. You want to make sure you take that A main so that you at least like have the threat of going A, so they're forced to at least just stay there or, you know, play up a little bit. But
interesting here, Clids, who is usually on a Sentinel, now on the Initiator that's basically a duelist, is watching the flank guard just instinctively.
Yeah,
he's ready for aggression.
Kind of playing that flex player role. We've seen a lot of the Chambers kind of be able to play. That's been a big thing as Valorant has kind of gone on, is there's a lot of flex players that you've seen certain maps to be able to play different things on. They have a pretty wide variety.
Which is important. I mean, the whole game, you start with 5 players, but any of them could go out at any time.
Yep. And it just shows your diversity, too. You just know a lot more if you play those roles as well.
Definitely so. And you know how to work with them if you know what they have. Prestige moving the dog
wow,
right
takes
in.
a lot of damage from that nade since they were in the dog. But Arctic gets actually 2, and then Tracker has a judge.
And she's
I think Tracker bought that this round. Yeah, and like,
yeah, because we didn't see it last round.
It's so funny because, you know, naturally, how the game usually goes in terms of just is you'd see Scorpions in the first round.
Right.
They win the second round.
Yep.
And then you would usually see the Vipers usually win the third round because it's the Scorpions bonus.
Yes.
What we see is Scorpions first round.
Right,
Vipers win
down
the
is
second
taking
round. Yeah, and then so the Vipers won the first round, but then it was the other 2. But it's just so like interesting to see.
Yeah. No, they have some kind of buffs are active. Some Ring of Thorns type mirror business.
Yeah, definitely in an alternate universe of Valorant where that's the advantage, actually.
The typical shots are coming out from Sova here.
Yeah.
He does get scared off a little bit. He's going to play a wider angle on both the middle of the site as well as the open door, and a good defensive smoke on that.
And yes, it does. Don't have the they have a counter KJO, which is probably waiting for. Arctic just gets
Pops
2.
off.
Arctic is definitely just like that person in terms of, oh wow, they get 2 detained as well. Oh, but they got greedy for it. It's a pretty good, honestly, like, if you did that on purpose, that's a great bait.
Yeah.
Because you know teams are, you know, they're like kind of like was it scent dogs? Like they just know that they're there, but like they're both stunned, so you're like, they're free kills. But now it's going to be the 4v2. They do have the Kidget ult, but I think they're going to save it. I don't think you really want to use it unless one goes down. If one goes down, I think you use it.
Yeah.
And they're just taking their time because they haven't actually planned it. They have bomb. They have spike, so they actually can't do anything here.
The Prestige and Reds can have to be the ones to push up here, and they've got really good angles for guarding, but they're being milked out right now by V Spicy with his darts.
30 seconds.
Not great. Here's
flash.
The Catalyst utility is going to flash around the corner, but they've got enough smoke up that the people in market aren't worried.
Wow, he's just looking at the wall.
Not even getting the info off. Yeah, he takes him. Shadow to find both.
Prestige, you know, does push it, but doesn't get one. But, I mean, Scorpions, once again, kind of pulling away that early. It seems like the defense is going a little bit more, like, I guess, going better for them.
Which is interesting because the Vipers did so well on attack last round. This means that the Scorpions have gone all in on their defense.
Yeah, we're going to see E with actually an operator. So, you know, definitely have to be careful about that. I don't think the Vipers are going to be ready for that.
Careful indeed. That's a good angle to be holding it, and that op is comfortable in E's hands.
And the thing is that they also be careful if they just get A too fast, because they do have the KJ ults for retaking A, and they have nothing to actually stop it. Like, the Vipers don't really have anything, any tools, so they don't have the Sova ult, they don't have the breach, like, you know, the plumage. So, yeah.
If they can ult orb quick enough, they may be able to Viper ult in response. It's a rough one.
Yeah. Kinetic gets a lot of space. They have to really kind of hope these knives kind of go hero. Oh, does get one, gets a reset. That's huge.
Yeah, he's trying to hunt down this op here. They're playing ring around the rosy. These Jets. He's going to be the one to find it and follow up after with one more. No.
It always is harder when you definitely hit that ground at the moment because it feels like you're not going to be accurate, but you are. So. But does get two. That's big for his team. His team definitely needed that. So a flash. But they don't have guns, I'm pretty sure, on site. They got the kills, but they're pretty deep kills. And they have the, like I said, there's the defensive Kidal coming in.
Yeah, they have to back up off of this. Jaguar trying to test the limits.
Yeah, Jaguar don't have much time, though.
Trying to look for it. Wow, takes it.
Wow, he actually got it.
That's crazy.
Oh my gosh. There you go. Great flash prestige. They're running out of time, though. They got to tap soon.
It's true, but
yeah,
they don't even get the chance.
And that timing, that has to be the smallest margin of timing. Like, that is such an insane play to walk all the way around and then have, like, your sheriff at the last possible second and just, like, it was less than a second left. And so, like, that is just so insane to make sure you hit those shots, too.
Yeah, a wildly tight window really shows off that skill.
That's some trust from a teammate if I've ever seen it. Like, I think that takes a lot of trust to just be like, all right, stay in it, I'm going to get it. And so that was pretty insane.
He's going to look again for this cheap kill onto whoever's walking B.
One way, does get the flash. Looking for the KO knife. Wow, that's a good KO knife. Has a lineup. Make sure you can't shoot that.
Yeah, that is a good one.
So Prestige does have ult now, though, but it looks like they're kind of just going to default a little bit more. They got, you know, hey, let's get some utility A. They got knife and the smoke. I think the knife only saw one of them.
Right.
Get silenced, so it's not too bad.
Yep, this push-off is being respected by the Scorpions. They're starting to settle again in the back. Viper's making the full rotation around. Be very careful of these angles. E might be watching on, but E's already make it down to market. They're ready for him. We've seen the typicals come out from Sova here. They'll look for that.
Here comes the Seekers.
Good use of the ult there. Prestige doing well with the Odin. Going to keep holding market. This is a great use of the Odin. Just absolutely spam those walls. Holding good suppressive fire, intimidate. Let the rest of the Vipers do what they do best here. Market doors are reopened, and Prestige is ready to hold it. No, Prestige goes back on the site to heal.
Absolutely.
Giving up a little bit of space there, Scorpions. Hopefully they can reply in time. Prestige
close
still.
Yeah, they close from actually shooting through, but
aggressive with that.
Doesn't actually get them. That Odin is honestly really good for this map.
It really is. We see so many Sovas hold the Odin and just spam that wall on the walk-in B main. Lids watching that back door from Modes. Not going to find anything, but just waiting for one to come around. There it is. Going to go down to Shadow.
Even though it's, you know, they're actually, I guess, like they're down to, yeah, but they're out of time.
But they're just looking for these outros to help their own team.
Oh, they did get them. And they actually get all of them.
Wow.
So Shadow's going to have his gun for next round. It is 3-3 here, so close one, of course. But that's the one thing is, I think they're just kind of looking for picks, see if they can get one. They didn't get one, so like, all right, let's just play post-plant, see if we can get our picks, call it a day. Because obviously, if you take too much time, you're not going to win that no matter what you do. So just know it worth just kind of throwing bodies at it. And 3-3, this is a really back-and-forth game at the moment here. We do see 3 ults from the Scorpions. We do the Hunter's Fury, and we got the Jet Knives, and we do have the KO ult for kind of taking these retakes. So do love to see those. And the Vipers only have that Omen ult, which is kind of hard to use on certain maps.
Defense playing
very
almost
aggressive,
a 5 push right through main here.
He might find him.
1A, 1B. Shadow on the A. Decides to throw a little bit of fire through this smoke. Maybe punish on the back. Not gonna.
Okay, yeah. I'll say the biggest thing there is that push from Jet onto Cat makes so that A main's just wide open.
Yep.
And so they just take that space. Now it's going to be pretty hard. They do have the KO ult for retake. Hopefully they kind of play with that around. to take it back because they do have the KJ ult back already. They do have the Hunter's Fury counter though. But it seems like they're just going to play time. They can't take too long while retaking this. They have 2 flanks, so they got another like 10 seconds-ish to go back, but they've the spike's planted. They don't have all the time in the world.
That's very true. In fact, I think they're incredibly low on time here. If they want any chance to actually take it, it had to be then. But Kinetic and Prestige is just holding down the fort here.
Yep.
Even get hungry and going after. Dash right out of there with the gun.
The biggest thing that I don't understand there is why they thought that the Jet aggression play, like obviously it was kind of a team thing because they sent him mid, but they just was way too aggressive and they had no one holding A main. So it was like, okay, you hope that they go mid and get 1, but at the same time, if you get 1 kill or maybe 2, they still get A main. And so it's like, I think you should, my opinion, like, I think for defending these maps, stuff like that, you don't want to play too aggressive, especially since you're doing such a good job of holding. You want to make it hard for them, of course. So we're seeing a lot of mid play here.
We're going to see a Sentinel kind of walking around on A. We see this mad aggression from the Scorpions looking for something. E setting up right behind that one-way smoke. Not going to get a whole lot off of it. See the turret set up already. And it's all just deploy. Most of the Vipers are sitting here on the gates of B. Not going to see any of that push from E because they're being held off in A. Start to make that rotation around to B again a little bit quicker. We've seen it typical of the last half of all these rounds, kind of tap on A a little bit and then move to B. It's faster now. They're going to take this space a lot quicker. The Vipers are looking to be proactive about it.
They're the Hunter's Fury, but the biggest thing is, look where the Sova is. He's on the stairs right now, so if he ends up ulting, they have to push him.
Right.
But he's very pushable, if that makes sense. And yeah, he's just going to leave it. He's just going to leave it.
Backs off a little bit.
Wow, he actually gets one of the nade.
Yeah, it's not an uncomfortable position to be in. Unfortunately, taking a site means you kind of have to give up right there. They are going to deter any kind of an ult into the back there. Wow.
Gets blinded. Good to see that. Get location revealed again. Kinetic is getting revealed a lot, but nothing's actually happened from it yet, too.
No, they haven't played off of it. It's mostly intimidation, which doesn't really work when the spike's already down.
Spicy gets 1.
Ooh, they come like little duck.
Wow.
1 around the corner at a time. Kinetic to find 2 before his eyes are distracted.
1v2 though, but Precision's behind them.
Spicy, good info off that.
Oh, so low.
He could have. He's going to come in through the finishing touches.
Oh my gosh, wow.
And it's a clutch for Prestige.
I mean, I like the try there, but the thing is he has an Odin. So maybe a different gun, but something like that. But Odin, he can just keep shooting through. I think Kinetic getting 2 there is so big because if Kinetic doesn't get 2 there, it's a 1v3 here. I think that round doesn't happen.
Right, you have better crossfire.
Yeah.
You could have been caught. You can send one to go running when that pre-aim comes through the wall.
Exactly, and you should have a flank and stuff like that. So it's just, I mean, overall, it's just harder, right?
Yeah, I mean, and it's a lot of them working together. You know, a lot of Prestige and Kinetic working together here gets each other the kills.
And Prestige just kind of rocking with this Odin here.
Speaking of Rocket, Scorpions looking to play pretty aggressive here on the mid, which might be a good call, a good read.
Yeah, I think they're on a half buy or a save.
Right.
I think doing so. Oh, actually no.
A good flash. They're going to play in after.
Jaguar gets 2 there.
So strong. Prestige sent back. Coming around with the dog. Checking new territory. Not going to find anything. Good old Sova's still in his corner, but they weren't seen.
Wow. Jaguar gets 3. He's getting his ecos in.
Spike down mid.
Yeah, he really is.
3v1 now. I definitely want to see this Hunter's Fury within the next couple rounds. Probably next one, because even at that, it's hard to get your ult back. We haven't seen it once, so I think, you know, if you're getting that 1 ult per half, it definitely feels pretty bad.
Yeah,
Because I know it's 8, but it definitely does not feel good getting 1 ult in, you know, all these rounds.
Yeah, but the power behind it, because it can get rid of a KJ. It can, if you ever know that all 5 people trapped somewhere with like a decent nade of any kind, you can really, really use it.
Yeah, but we did see the KJ ult happen last round there, but they chose to not use it.
It's true.
And they also didn't use it on site either, so I don't know.
Right, they have a free one to use before the KJ will be ready again.
But now they have the KJ ult and the Sova ult, so we did see the KJ ult, I guess, like, you know, last time. Maybe this is what you're talking about, where they're, you know, going to use both of them in sync here. Maybe they ult to try to get them in one spot, and then they Sova ult. But I think it takes a lot of coordination to do that, and sometimes it just doesn't really realistically line up that way. We're
going to see a good mirror match in the guns here, a little bit of Odin action from both sides, so hope to see a lot of wallbang action. We might see it immediately. Good reply to that. Single shot onto it doesn't give a lot of information about the pen you're holding, so Sova still has to play low. Arctic going to go bounce across. That's it. Now they know. but everybody's mostly in mid and on A. It's just a little tap to B. The rotation's not out, though. Scorpion's standing strong. Coming into the garden here. And then peeking in the corner, expecting a little bit of smoke. Has the ability to X into some knives if they feel it. Gonna fall in after the dog. A good person to play off of. That's a lot of space to take.
Yep.
Really pushed E back.
Does get one.
Ooh, Jaguar. Good potential here. Catches one off guard, but doesn't find the kill. Paranoia comes out. They've got to run. Doors are already up. Some good protective AoE, just making sure. He's not being chased. He can swing out a little bit more gently. A lot of people on site, though.
Oh,
Sova.
yes, gotta be careful here. Knife out. Did we just see the Hunter Sphere coming out here? Prestige gets one. Does a great flash as well. Gets into the new spot here.
Oh, Prestige in a great spot for that one.
It is a 3v2 though, so they're at a numbers disadvantage.
It is. Ooh. Hidden in the smoke there, waiting for the taps. When he pops out, they'll be watching for him. Someone else takes it. They don't expect him at all. They didn't even respond to that fire there, and he comes close for it. Prestige catch at 3K.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is like they're just doing such a good job of playing these number down disadvantages. I mean, we see Prestige gets to a spot, flashes up, gets one, gets to a different spot there at Gen, kind of holds that angle down. So then now they have to worry about the people in person main for the defusing the bomb, and they also have Prestige on the flank.
Yeah, and that numbers game is important to be watching, especially considering all this rotation game that's happening. They've almost never run to a site and stuck with it unless they took it really quickly. We've seen a lot of like tap and move back off, like 4-1 splits.
And I've also seen like we'll see like 4v3s in the I guess favor of the Scorpions here, but we've seen them kind of go one at a time. And they keep getting picked. And yeah, they end up in that 3v2 scenario, but the thing is we saw Sova just peek by himself, not full clear, and then we have two others go there, and then it's just too hard to play.
Right.
So I think the biggest thing here is Scorpions definitely need to take this time out and be like, hey, what can we do to, like, what are we doing wrong? I think that's the biggest thing you should always ask yourself. Like, what's working well, what's not working well? They've had good retakes, they've had bad retakes. So let's just focus on what's the good retakes and go from there.
Yeah, and a good coordinated adjustment would love to turn this around.
Because I think it's always different that what you've achieved or what you could achieve. I think that's very different things to talk about. And I think when you take a timeout, you can already focus on what you have achieved and how you achieved it.
Yeah, and I like you saying what you could achieve as the metric, because you can't say, all right, boot aim labs for a minute.
Yeah, well, it's just also like, oh, well, you know, I think we just need to like, hit our shots better, which sometimes it is the case. Actually, sometimes it is the case.
Sometimes it is.
But I think a lot of it also is putting your scenarios where if that is the case, at that point, you've played everything else right. And here we go. We've seen, you know, Vipers coming out in the heat here. Two ults going past each other. The Decay ult came in a little too late, didn't silence him in time. Kinetic is going to get the one. Oh wow, Clids does go down.
Clids, but it's okay. That attacker killjoy's going to give him a little bit of space.
Yeah,
we see
so
a lot of attackers already holding
it.
Yep, they were pretty deep into boats, so he was the only one that felt that. He's back on the table now.
All right, let's Kinetic getting the double.
That is a gorgeous judge.
No way.
It's fun. It's funny.
No. The gun buddy, sure.
It matches it.
Yeah, I don't know. The shimmer variant is not for me. Only reason I have this because our friend has a classic. Okay, here we go though. Going back on site. This is once again where the Scorpions are taking too much time. So I think they're gonna save. Oh, they end up going. I guess they are. They already on.
Trying to aggress on in. It's uncomfortable though. There it is, a flawless
Yeah, I mean,
run.
at that point, they want to actually go down there because they don't want to save because they don't have any guns.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I would say, yeah, use the other timeout. Attackers, I guess the Vipers should use this timeout and just kind of, if you have the timeout, might as well use it. I think you get one per half, so.
Right.
Might as well use it to your advantage to see what's good and see what's happening. Vipers are up 3-8, so, I mean, once again, it started out kind of crazy. These rounds definitely go crazy the first, 5 rounds, where it's like, the people who should win aren't winning, and then it's like, okay, they're going back and forth. But it seems like Vipers definitely get into that groove of things where, like, we've seen in the last 3 or 4 rounds, just kind of really dominate these rounds.
Yeah. They're probably discussing whether or not they want to risk the curse moving into a 9-3.
That is true.
Yeah.
We've seen it happen.
Might just ball this one
But
out.
I mean, I think with this much momentum, I think you don't have to worry about it too much.
Yeah, they're doing great, and it could be don't get too hot again.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Slow down. Coach could be tapping him on the
Yeah.
shoulders and be like, oh, okay.
I would say maybe the coach, we've definitely seen the first map here of like them getting a little too over-ambitious. So I think it's good to use that timeout. If you have 2 of them, so might as well use it early and be proactive with it. Be like, hey,
Yeah.
I know you guys want to, like, and it's always of course, have good fun. You know, of course, high hopes and good
Of
energy.
course.
But you definitely want to keep it to a point where you're still in that zone of I'm in a competitive match. Let's make sure we win this.
Right. Let's have fun next week, too.
Exactly. Yeah. I like that one. I like that one. But it is going to be that 3-8 here. Kinetic obviously says a sheriff, but has knives as well. Scorpions should be able to buy this last round. So, like I said, Scorpions are definitely going to have this last buy. I'm not a big fan of the KJ turret because it's just been kind of destroyed right away.
Kinetic, the only one with the spike, is going to move in knives alone.
Yeah, he has a spike. Oh.
Takes it.
Okay, their timeout was Kinetic said, give me 1 person on site, that's me.
Kinetic said, listen, I know you don't like when I do this, but listen.
Oh, it's because Vipers have Ominal. That's why they don't care.
Yeah, they're not worried about
Maybe
it. And
that's
it's
what
a
they're
great,
doing, actually.
It's
so
a great
know.
tag.
That's
I
actually
like
pretty...
this. What a playbook. And, oh, yeah, Omen's ready for it. He's already in plant position. Tags right over to find it. They have an empty arena to take. So, wow.
Oh, Prestige gets caught out with the flash in hand. That's a great job from Tracker. He knows that they, can't be in the smoke just yet.
It's true.
So pushes through it. 3v3 now, though, so it actually is very, very winnable. And I think Scorpions have learned to make sure he's holding that flash a couple times. He wants to use it. He's still holding it. Okay, does use it. Does get 1. Still now 2v3, though. This is exactly what happens every time for the most part. Arctic gets 1. Is there a nade lineup? Oh, great flash. Oh, and Tracker gets him. And just like that, like, we've seen the Scorpions play very methodical, and they can match them. It's just, I think, a little bit times they get a little bit too, I guess, like, just a little antsy, I think is a good way to explain it. They get a little too antsy where they're playing too slow, they're waiting on their utility, they're trying to wait for the perfect moment to arise instead of making the moment arise.
Yeah, and here they were really caught in the corner, and they had to make it happen. When you snap them into focus, they do excellent. I mean, being caught off guard with that kamikaze jet play.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy. That would have thrown me for a loop.
Oh, yeah, and the crazy thing is that he had Spike, right? I mean,
yeah.
And then he's just like, okay, that's fine. Their teammates reply just like, hey, just go over. He's like, I have Spike. Well, that's okay. We have Omen.
Yeah.
So it was like, they definitely put that ploy there, where it was like, well, they'll see the Spike, they'll try to hold the Spike, but it's like, well, you have Omen ult.
Yeah, because it feels like the win con is there.
Yeah, exactly. And here we go. This is going to be a good swap here. So now we have to kind of see the Scorpions play a lot more methodical to get this going here. Oh, I thought it was a shock dart at first. And they wait for the lineup. It's a big KO thing that we've seen this entire kind of games now. They've kind of gone to the point where I feel like every character uses lineups now.
Yeah, yeah.
Like every character has like a form of them.
But they're accommodating to the play. Like, we saw them catch off guard right above them.
Oh, wow.
Whoa,
Prestige got 2.
And not collateral.
Oh, this
That's
should be a really good bait, though, if they end up going for it, because Kinetic is just sitting wide, but
doesn't look like they're going to push in. No, but Kinetic was ready for it. Still hoping, but it's not going to be there.
Yeah.
They're going to track back to mid, a 3v4 uncomfortable.
Prestige still getting 2 is quite insane.
Crazy. And that early.
Absolutely. All right, we're just seeing them kind of going back on the site, but a pretty different approach here, all through main. Does see the drone.
Regroups back out. Jaguar gets a couple of hits
Wow,
off.
Clids gets 1 with the Frenzy.
And what a tilted match now. Spike is
Yeah,
just now
4v2.
down. And 1.5
And
maybe. There it is.
1v4, yeah.
Spicy goes down. Kinetic doing well. Sprint is ready. And there it is. An easy defuse for Kinetic on the Vipers to bring it to 4-9.
Absolutely. And this is what we've seen, though. So I would not be surprised if we see the Scorpions force here.
Yes.
Where you see them do it every time almost.
And take it. I wouldn't be surprised if they take it.
I think they've won it every single time they've done it this series here in these both 2 games. So once again, we are going to see them force. So we do see the Spectres and Marshals coming out. I mean, the one thing I do agree with is when you're playing attack, I think it's a lot easier to force because when you get that spike down and get the extra money, it's a lot easier to force like that. Because you know you're going to have the extra credits from forcing stuff like that. The guy, Odin, second round, oh boy.
Let's go. All right, Kinetic ready in the spot here to take E's position on this one. We're going to see all the Scorpions moving right up into A. Nice and slow. Got to wait for that lineup.
Man, that I don't know. Those turrets are different.
The Vipers give him the hallway.
Yep.
The smoking
lot
right
made.
at the choke.
He is going to see him. He did see all of them, so at this point, they're a really good entry. Yep, the Jet does a great job.
They're
being
trying
on
to take
Gen.
care of one, but it's just a distraction. The other one's moving right in. Kinetic and
far-
Cliz to take theirs. Kinetic
Oh,
finds another.
wow.
Prestige, ooh, just
1v2
barely into the
though,
gate.
but he is literally 1 HP.
Yep.
He's the definition of 1 right now. I like this. Reskin waits. That's the biggest thing. You can definitely get out of it because your teammate is definitely saying, hey, this guy's 1 HP.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There it
for
is.
that.
Pierces
And
here and
that
takes
is
him
how
down.
you take your hype and bring it down a notch and then calm and collectively win the round.
Excellently done,
Because
Reskin.
there's so many times where, you know, the players are just like, you know, he's 1 HP, he's 1, he's 1, he's 1, you know, your team is freaking out. So then you're like a 1v2, like, hey, and then, you know, it takes one person to really step up and be like, hey,
Right.
play the time, play slow, make sure you do it. So
Right. Don't make this a 1v1. Don't make it awkward.
Reskin
Gonna see
throws
some-
it off the map. He
Get to
wants
see
to
some
fan up.
nice ones out here. I like the fun guns. Judge, the
Odin.
shorties coming out. The Odin is on deck. We just got to see the Marshall play. They're going to push up A again, giving a little bit of time, but not maybe enough. Scorpions do get flashed pretty hard there, so Vipers know to expect at least a little bit of something. Sprays are coming out. They're getting in the zone. Scorpions decide to maybe set one for a retap just for funsies while they send the other ones around. Kind of push the pressure onto mid. Kinetic's ready for it, though. Watches his angles well, waiting for some pre-fire. Come around the corner. Doesn't see anything but bot. Try to cloud burst to get rid of that. That's a good play as well.
Yes, the Kinetic getting 1 right away is so tough for the Scorpions because a sense of map where you definitely need all your members because you gotta have that flank angle, and so now if you do have like send someone flank, it's now 3-1, whereas
Right.
like usually you're that 4-1, which is a big difference.
It is.
Because a lot of the time for your attack on Ascent, it's your Jet dashing into a smoke, and then you playing a trade system where it ends up being in favor for you.
Right, and trade systems can be done proactively.
Yeah.
Like, your 50-50s become guaranteed trades instead of coin flips when you've got that one extra person. Ooh, Clid's a little bit open with that utility. He's able to get behind the wall,
Prestige
though.
is just
Enemy remaining.
absolutely
Yeah.
mowing him down here with
Covers
it.
him. E looking to take one, but can't find it,
And
and goes down to give
yeah,
the Vipers 11.
I mean, that's pretty, I guess, standard. The Scorpions are full saving there, so now they're going to have their buy. But at this point, Scorpions definitely need to do something different. I mean, obviously nothing is working right now, so they definitely need to pick it up. Like, so either someone needs to kind of make a big play to get a hype going, get something circulating. Something big needs to happen, I think.
Definitely.
And sometimes it definitely takes a play for that to happen, or it takes just like someone stepping up for comms, or one thing, like one big thing needs to happen.
Get the IGL out here, get some high momentum on plane. Scorpions pushing up B. We haven't seen a whole lot of that, but it's covered hard. Attacker Killjoy is already coming out.
That's right, and we're see, it's a good start, but the thing is, Cliz gets 1 on the Spicy right away.
And that only available response is
Jaguar
Seekers
gets
coming
1
out.
as well.
Oh, the Jaguar gets caught. He only gets 1 because he gave himself
Wow, and that is a fast round.
very quick. Crazy how much the Seekers really brought to that table.
Match point.
Absolutely.
Coming in on match point now, Scorpions. It's an uphill battle if they're looking at something here.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely sucks because at this point, the Scorpions are not going to have the biggest eco as well. So
No.
we're going to see probably, yeah, exactly. We're going to see like probably light buys. We've seen some Spectres. I mean, some are going to have some money, but not everyone. There's a Judge in there. But it's going to be really hard because they have no ults now. They just used 2 of them. Not too much going for them, but once again, got to have something going here.
Cliz with a quick dart just to feel it out.
Yep.
Nothing going to be there, so they rotate right on in. Vipers looking to really squash this out comfortably. And we talked about that last time. Tracker barely takes
Wow,
one.
they get 2 though.
Backed up. Shadow with a second. On 7 health.
Oh.
Ditches a spike, but it's right in the middle. Prestige now guarding that spike. Doesn't want E or V Spicy to take it, but backs off a little bit. Lets him have it since the Wolf in to check on it.
Oh, he did see him
jumps
though,
into
yeah.
Saw's. Yeah, Saw going for the plant, so now he's going to try to flash into it and play
I
on
think
it.
goes for the op shot through.
Yeah.
Bot coming back.
You know where default is. May as
Yeah,
well give
that's
it a click.
true.
Okay,
Yeah, he just goes to the gen shot.
Kinetic is still watching that angle, but he's beneath.
Yeah, he is beneath. But the thing is,
hanging out
look
in
where the
hell.
Spike is. Spike is on B site. So this is just a ploy.
It is.
And look at the bait. Arctic is actually sitting in spawn there, waiting for Jaguar to kind of play that mid area. They do end up getting E, but I think it's fine because the Scorpions actually get more favorable position here.
They do, yeah. The Vipers now are freed up to move around the map
So
if they
definitely-
have a good count.
Definitely want to save this dart here for this post plant. Gotta make sure that you don't want to waste it though. You don't use it too early. Don't use it too late. You know, it's kind of one of those things you to wait for the contact like this and then use it.
Yeah, if you send it and you don't get bullets to take it down or a ping on anyone, then it's kind of just been spent.
They're starting to run low on time.
Yeah, good Shark Dart to coming out. V-Spicy's doing
Arctic
a
gets
good
one
job.
as well.
Ooh, Arctic to find what's huge and finds his
two.
second.
Third and out of the round, yeah.
His
The
third,
two,
yes.
those two right there, right?
Yeah.
To be fair. But great job there. I like that play where E is kind of a bait because they're actually not in a really favorable position, even if E's on the site, because he still has to peek them heaven. And so it's like a 1v2 scenario there. I like the play to just kind of make a call. Sova sends Spicy B, and then we'll have Arctic hold a big flank angle and spawn, so you can get the 1 and then even up in 2v2.
Yeah, some good cooperative play here.
Yeah, exactly. So E kind of had to be the sacrificial lamb there, but still great overall play.
Scorpions have to be dropping non-stop ults here to keep putting on the pressure. They have no mistakes left. Any slips in the Vipers take it all the way home.
I'd love to see a big force here by KO ult, or if they have a scenario where they kind of find 3. Interesting Omen ult there by going to Wine. I think he was just checking Wine to make sure that they're not there.
He's still in Wine.
Yeah, I think it was a big, the first reason though was probably to check it,
Right.
and then the second one's like, I'm just going to stay there.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting push. He may be able to get up here. No, he's just going to run right away.
I like the default here though, because they definitely don't know where any of them are, and maybe they have a suspicion of like, oh, okay, ooh.
Kinetic got pushed hard there and tried to play in after aggressive,
Yeah,
but can't find
way
it.
too aggressive. That's an overheat by a mile.
V-Spicy taking that kill risk and looking to back it up, but moves right on out of there.
Put
Too many
Scorpions at an
people.
advantage. Great. KO ult gets an entry here.
Oh, so many cooks in the kitchen. Klitz has great chance to find one here, but he can't find it.
Prestige
He's gonna
trades
take
one
it.
though. Oh, easy get tagged.
Oh.
Unfortunately, you can't shoot through that. Oh,
No.
wow. Insane shot
Almost
Prestige
finds it.
there. Hits
Excellent done.
3.
Prestige is tight right now.
Oh, he's looking for
Finds
the
a
ace.
fourth. Oh, he's hungry to
Yeah, I'm
finish the
saying,
game with an
yeah,
ace.
Seekers.
Seeker's got to be out for it. He's ready. He's saying, do not take this.
I mean, if it's me, though, you just want to win this match, right?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But they let him have a chance for it.
Oh,
No.
yeah, a great trade. And just like that, I mean,
Excellent.
Vipers pretty convincingly gets those wins there. And of course, if you want to be seen by expert college recruiters, talk directly to esports industry insiders like pro athletes, team general managers, game producers, then join the club. Esports Tower players get insider access to industry insights, and with our featured rumbles, recruiters are taking notice too. It's a great way to score exposure if you're looking to start your path to pro or land a collegiate scholarship, so make sure you check out esportstower.com. And of course, the Vipers are going to go to your grand finals, the first team who's made it. Overall, just kind of a pretty well performance them. Once after that first half, I guess, is a good way to explain it. After that, they kind of just really steamrolled there. And it looks like they've got enough cohesion. I think the biggest thing they need to pick up a little bit for next week is the minor details in terms of not overheating a little bit too much. We've seen Kinetic get a little bit too crazy at those times where, just getting caught too much, and a lot of times we're just losing around because of that.
Yeah, but he did have some great plays.
Yeah.
Some real on-fire things.
Absolutely. I mean, he's still a great player.
Yeah, and so did Arctic. So if we had to start talking about player of the game,
Absolutely. My next thing I was going to say.
then I think I would go Arctic.
I think Kinetic, because he played so well both games.
Oh,
I
okay.
think I'm using more of it as a player of the game as the
Contribution
two
to-
games of the. I'm not going with a series kind of thing,
Right.
But I would say Kinetic because in the first game he dropped like 25 kills.
Right.
Second game, I think Prestige definitely had it on top there. He had the 4 kills at the end there. Went pretty crazy, but I think Kinetic was right there.
And the two of them in
close second.
game one had a very cooperative game style that led to either of them doing what they could.
Absolutely, and we're going to see here. Arctic is going to be your play of the game here. We did see, like I said, he had some great plays. I think even though they lost, Arctic had quite a good performance. I think he had a lot of great plays. I think for what he was given with in terms of situations like that, he did a great job. And of course, the player of the game is brought to you by Idaho Central Credit Union, who believes a great player makes a team more successful, just like Idaho Central's helping members achieve financial success. Arctic is the Idaho Central Credit Union player of the game, and of course, just I think he deserves it. He had a lot of great moments, like 4Ks, 3Ks, 3Ks. Arctic definitely does a good job because he plays different roles too. We saw him on the KJ the last game. First game he played the Sky really well. So it's always fun to see that flex as well. Just be able to play it all.
Yeah, an all-around understanding of the game to be able to have the game sense to, like you said, when caught in awkward scenarios.
Yeah, exactly.
Find those 3 and 4Ks to close it
Oh,
up.
absolutely. And I guess our first semifinal match, what do you think? There's anything you kind of want to bring up or anything that you want to say about these matches?
I think it was beautiful. I think they both did great. I loved the pressure between them, especially in the first half where it was a lot closer of a game. And then the turnaround of being able to buckle down, really close it out. We saw a good use of all of their timeouts, which I think is just a free utility.
I think the biggest thing also is Vipers showing how they're such a good team. We've seen there's a difference in teams sometimes of well, what's the actual difference? And this is what we show, right?
Yes.
It shows that when it's close, they make the thing happen, and then it's not close. So definitely good teams do that. And, of course, the Vipers continue to prove that they are the top team in the Summer Invitational with a 2-0 win over the Scorpions in our first semifinal. Played a great series. Of course, who will join the Vipers in our grand finals? Make sure to join us next Monday at 6 p.m. EST for our second semifinals of the Esports Tower Invitational. Of course, we'll close off with our top 5 presented by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time. With more than 10 jobs offering a $20K bonus in your great choice paid for, the Idaho Army National Guard is the best team out there. Thank you so much for watching tonight, and everyone have a great night. Just good play overall by the Scorpions and making a good call.
And to pull the knives after an off, it's an all-out scenario. Kinetic, though, going to ADS and find that one. It isn't. What a great TP, but he falls right into it.
Oh, wow, she got him.
To find one through the wall there, Redskin with the last
just
one.
Like that, the Vipers go. Okay, the blind goes out. I think Prestige has the off. Oh, wow, great shot by Kinetic. Kinetic just has some raw aim right now.
Yeah, and
great shots.
Relocates quick enough to find another one before going down. Arctic to take 3. Loves to one more, but can't find it. Prestige. Without
good play overall by the Scorpions and making a good call.
And to pull the knives after an off, it's an all-out scenario. Kinetic, though, going to ADS and find that one. It isn't. What a great TP, but he falls right into it.
Oh, wow, she got him.
To find one through the wall there, Redskin with the last
and just
one.
Like that, the Vipers go
later than we usually see V-Spicy like to TP, but he did hold on. When you don't have that eye contact, it's still safe to stay. Redskin going to get in for the plant.
Wow, great job by Kinetic again, too. Guy, he got to go somehow. He got his first kill with the Frenzy, and then he swapped. Oh, wow, they lined up for him. Gets a clap. Wow, they're going to hear that smoke because they're actually that close when you're within vicinity.
Ooh,
great try there.
TP, and it's a close TP.
Oh, wow, nice shot there.
Turnaround. Ready for V-Spicy, too. Just right timing.
That's a really great jump.
Can't take him out anymore. Going to go for the half, even under fire pressure. Comes back for it, takes the jaw.
Oh, but